Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. It's Thursday. And my question number one still remains. Good morning to the National Disaster Management Organization. Yesterday, I saw your letter. Your press release asking people to move to higher grounds and to safe havens. I want to ask you whether or not you have provided those safe havens for people to move to, because your first job as a National Disaster Management Organization by law, as is on your website, is to prevent disaster from happening, not to do residual disaster fighting and face-saving activities. That's your first job. Your job and your mandate by law, and as you have put proudly on your website, says your job is to prevent disaster from happening. So in your bid to prevent disaster from happening, you have asked people to move to higher grounds, to safe havens. That's what you said in your release. But have you provided any of those safe havens? That's the question, because you're asking people to move. Move and go where? When God asked Abraham to move to the promised land, to the land that he was going to give him, he took him and showed him the land and said, this is the land, occupy it. So you're asking the people to go. And I'm using a Christian example because the battle is the Lord's. You are asking the people to go. Go where? Go where? Go where exactly? We must be complete in our processes before we start asking people to take certain actions. We have heard the rains are coming. Much more rain will come. And you've seen how rapidly it rains for just a little while, and small little rains, big floods. That's the conversation we have these days. Little rains, big floods. We have estimated that we're going to throw $5 billion at the problem. And that's what the minister said. We're going to use it to solve our flooding problems. But we are not talking about planning. We are not talking about greening properly. Because this whole Green Ghana agenda that we're doing, it sounds very well, it sounds very good, but the nuances are not so clear. And it doesn't add up that we say, yes, in 2021 we spent, 12 million to plant 7 million trees. And then in 2022, we spent 6 million to plant 22 million trees. Maybe my math teacher died too early. Or maybe I don't understand improper fraction. Or maybe you are using the formula, if less, more divide, if more, less divide. Maybe you are going board mass way, I don't know. But the nuances must be made clear. And if we are greening, we planted 7 million last year, we're planting 22 million now, we are planting trees all over the place. We should be seeing some more greens coming up. At least the trees from last year should have been very visible and evident. It all adds up to our flood fighting agenda. So yes, you're asking people to move, show them where to go, and give us a proper plan. We're greening Ghana, but a minister in the Oti region is uprooting trees that have been planted. He is uprooting trees to plant trees. Ajana 1, Ajana 2. Tuntuma na Koko. That's what we're doing. You're telling everybody to go and plant trees. Some people go and plant trees, then you go uproot it, and you go and plant trees instead. What would have happened if you had added on the trees that you planted subsequently? So the trees that they planted, yes, you leave them, then you add on. Because we are complaining that we are losing 80% of our forest cover is gone. People are planting trees and you are uprooting the trees to plant trees. What kind of logic is this? What kind of thinking is that? So we are spending money to plant trees. Some people are planting trees from their own resources, and we are uprooting the trees so that we can spend money to plant the trees. Ebay. One step forward, 4 steps backwards. Good morning to you, Nadbo. I want a response on this, and good morning to our roads minister. This attitude of shutting everybody up when we ask you questions about accountability needs to stop. You see, the people are losing trust or have lost trust Because it was the same kind of excuses we were giving when COVID-19 came. We were told that we are fighting the pandemic and so we are not able to account for what we are spending. Mr. Kojo Oponkrom, I said it in the foyer of Parliament. Now we are asking for COVID accounts and it is never coming up. We are asking for a bipartisan probe and it is never coming up. The last time I heard about the procurement of Sputnik V vaccines, which hit a snag, we were told, oh, we had not spent money. The minister said it under oath, later comes to admit that, well, we had actually paid money because Mr. Kenofriata confirmed it to Marcus Tobiasen of the VG newspaper through us. And then the admission started coming out. That conclusion from Parliament has not even happened. So yes, we are told that, well, it's an emergency. We're trying to save lives, blah, blah, blah. And then we procure. And then after the procurement, we are not able to account for it. Something is holding the monkey's leg. And so when you say you are fixing an emergency on the Tema Motorway, the Tema Motorway is not a human being, sebi, in an ICU. So you should be able to tell us that, look, this is how much we have estimated. And as we travel along, you can tell us that, oh, well, we estimated that we're going to use 100,000, 50,000, 10,000. But now, given the scope of work and the extent of work we have had to do and how much materials we have had to throw in there, it has ballooned to this cost. Then we can do a proper audit. But you can't tell us to shut up when we ask you to give us the cost. We, the Ghanaian people, are the employers. Read the preamble of the Constitution. Thankfully, sir, you are a lawyer. Power emanates from the people, and we didn't see your face on the ballot sheet when we went to vote in 2020 and 2016. We saw the face of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who gave you a specific mandate. Maybe I should play for you the mandate that was given to you on the 11th of January 2017 and remind you and show you how meekly you stood by Nana Addo when he was announcing you as Roads Minister. So this penchant of telling everybody to shut up and speaking with a certain kind, it puts me off. You take the taxpayers' money. Technically, you are an employee of the Ghanaian people. In fact, not you. You are a representative of the chief employee, which is the president of the Ghanaian people. We can't be taking care of everything, and then when we ask you questions, in fact, the project you are even running is not from your pocket. You are doing it from our resources. When we finish and we ask you questions, you tell us to shut up. It is because we all can't be ministers. That's why you have been made minister. And so when we ask you questions, you give us the answers. If you don't have the answers, you say so. And we move on. Why would you tell us to shut up? So it's become like a father and son or father and children relationship. That's not it. That's not what democracy is about. Democracy is not about father and mother and daughter and children. No, that's not it. Democracy is about the people asking you, and our preamble of the Constitution is clear. Probity, accountability is there. You have to probe. You have to be accountable while we probe. So if you are spending the people's monies on a project, you must be able to come up and tell them that this is how much we are spending, or this is how much we are estimated to spend. Good morning.